Good Sunday afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to kind of share a meal prep idea that I do on the weekends, either Saturday or Sunday. And so, since I did chicken earlier, I'm going to go ahead and do my meatballs. I got the recipe, the original recipe from my grandmother. She's already up in heaven, and she lived here for over 80 years, so I got to know her and love on her and everything before she went on up. But she used to use crackers and salt and pepper, and that was pretty much all she would use for this recipe. Oh, and cream of mushroom soup. Well, I put kind of a healthy twist on it. I started a few years ago trying to eat a little bit better, try and be conscious of what I'm putting in my body. Not to say I'm perfect at it. I still have some processed foods I eat and things like that. But, just be a little bit more conscious of it. So I'm going to turn you around and let you see what I'm going to put into this. And this is my version of Swedish meatballs, kind of taken from my grandmother's original version. So this morning I've already added my oats. I love to use the old-fashioned oats. You can use like Quick Oats or whatever you have. You don't have to get the Quaker Oats brand. You can get any brand that you enjoy cooking with. But I recommend whatever you usually do for cookies. I would definitely recommend that type of oats because it'll still cook in the oven, but it's not going to be one of those ones that you can just let cook and cook and cook, because you'll want it to be ready quicker. And then I put a little bit of garlic salt in there. I put a little ground pepper. And then, of course, I have to use some basil from my garden like I did in the other video for the chicken. So I love my basil. I dry it out. You can use fresh, but right now, I'm enjoying drying it out. And then I pulse it with my Ninja, and it does great to break it up really well. In fact, here we go. Here's it all pulsed up. And then I add an egg, like with any meatballs, you can add an egg or something to help stick it together. And then I use a lean ground beef. You can use lean turkey, just whatever ground meat you enjoy having, and just add, again, whatever spices you like in your meats and stuff. But these are just ones that I enjoy. And definitely the oats will be better than the crackers because, of course, crackers are more processed. Oats are your whole grains. So that'll be better for you. And then if you have, chickens that lay your eggs for you, then I would definitely use farm fresh chicken, chicken eggs. But, I have what I get from the store. And then over here, since I am going to be browning my meatballs, I have my little platter to bring them out on. And then I have, I love it, my cast iron skillet. I got it this year and I absolutely love it. And I put a little bit of olive oil in there. I like to use olive oil instead of vegetable or canola oil. Whatever oil you enjoy cook with, again, just use what oil you enjoy. But just a tiny bit, not much, because of course with the ground beef, you'll have plenty of grease and things like that. And I make my own gravy from the grease. So it's not cream of mushroom, but I do know what's in it. So I feel like it's, it's still not the greatest for you, but it's still good and you know what's in it. So I use the grease, I use whole wheat King Arthur's flour, and I use 2% milk. Again, if you have a milk cow, I would use a milk cow's milk, but whatever milk and whatever flour you enjoy, just kind of the basics, but just letting you know what I use. But I am gonna pause you for right now, and then I'll let you see while I'm cooking it up after I get the meatballs rolled and everything. Okay, y'all, I'm back with the rolled meatballs, and the skillet is starting to warm up. I like to have at least a little bit of warmth on the skillet before I start sticking these in. And then I have tongs. They are great for this because then you can flip them easily, and I just love them. They have saved me so much time and hassle. So let's see if this oil is ready yet. Not quite ready. Getting there. Let's see. And I forgot to let you know that I do preheat my oven. This is the second time I've done the recipe exactly like this. I've done similar recipes in a slow cooker, but this is the second time to do it in the cast iron skillet and just finish it off in the oven. So I preset my oven to 350 Fahrenheit, so it'll be good to go. Okay, let's check to see if this oil is ready. A little bit. Yep, there we go. Now we're good to go. Now I'm just going to put them all in here. Spread them out a little bit, enough so you can at least turn them. But I just put them all in here to get them going. And what you want to do is basically just get a good browning on the entire meatball, and then you'll finish it in the oven. There we go. Hear that nice sizzling sound. And the reason I do what y'all would consider so few, because it's just me. I work during the week, and by the time I'm done working, I do not feel like doing any home cooking. So a lot of times I'll try and pre-cook on the weekend, and like this, I'll put in a good container and put it in the fridge, and it'll be at least 3 good meals for me. And then I will add vegetables. I get the bags of steamed vegetables, but I don't have a microwave. When I got into this place, they didn't have one, and so I just never got me one, because I was like, it may be a little bit better for me to not microwave stuff. I know some families with kids and stuff, that is not easy to do because kids want food right then. But just being me right now, that's fine. And even when my fiance visits from Australia, we haven't really missed the microwave. So, yeah, we may or may not get one once we get into our own place together when he's moved here. But for right now, I just enjoy having my stove and my oven to heat things up in. And if power happens to go out, I also have a fireplace, so I could heat it over the fire. But anyway, I'll go ahead and get these going and get them browned. Then I'll come back and show y'all whenever I get them all browned, so you can kind of see how it's going to look once they're all browned. Okay, y'all, I've started to brown them. And yes, I know they're still red there, but they will cook in the oven in the homemade gravy. So the last little bit is coming along. About to finish browning these up, and then I'll take them off the oven or off the stove. And I forgot to tell y'all, I try to keep it on a medium to high heat. It browns well, and it doesn't burn things. You can kind of watch it. Sorry about that. I'm not doing great with camera work today. First time trying to do something and take video. That's okay. It'll get better as I get used to everything. But anyway, so I put it on a medium to high heat, because if you're anything like me, we hate to get popped with that grease. So when I was younger and had started really cooking, I used to make what my friend called Heather's Horrible Hamburgers, which actually they tasted delicious, but she was just being silly. And so, man, when I started making those, oh my goodness, the burns and the grease and everything. So I learned, okay, don't have it too high, but have it high enough that you're at least cooking things. So, anyway, and what I'm going to do, you see all the good stuff in there, the browning, the little bits of meat left over that didn't, quite get out from the meatballs. Ooh, I'm leaving that in for that good gravy. If y'all have ever made Southern gravy, you know what this is. This is the good stuff that helps keep your gravy all nice and delicious. I do add, after I add the flour, I do go ahead and put a little bit more of the garlic salt, just a tiny bit, and then a little bit of the black gravy, or actually probably about a tablespoon of black gravy, just to keep that seasoning in there so the gravy also tastes good. So I will be back once I get the gravy going, because it's a little bit bigger of a task. So I'm back. I've got the grease and flour in here, and I've got the milk in here. And along with the milk, I put a little bit of black pepper. What you want to try and do is, if you've got clumps of your flour, you want to try and get them mashed, because you don't want clumps of flour in your gravy. So you try and mash them down, and I love my wooden spoon. It's great for all my dishes. I just love it. So I use that with this skillet. And you want to make sure any flour on the sides you try and get incorporated, because again, you don't want raw flour going into your food. You know, go ahead and get it incorporated so you've got that already set before you even put this with the meatballs in the oven. So I've got this on low because that pan was super hot whenever the meatballs came out. So I put it on low, and yes, I still got popped with grease. But fortunately, it just hit my eyeglasses instead of my eye. So it was one of those ones like, I'm going to get you. But anyway, so I've got this incorporated. And then I turn this up a little bit. Because I had quite a bit of flour in there, I probably put, I am horrible with measurements. Sorry, y'all. But I probably put about 2 handfuls. Basically enough to lap up most of the grease, but leave it so you have a tiny bit of grease left, because that, you know, just kind of incorporates in everything. And I mix quite a bit, so I try and keep anything off of the bottom of the pan, and then I'll let it cook up. So right now I've got the heat on medium. Went ahead and brought it up a little bit, and then once you get to where you can start seeing that bubbling, your gravy should start to thicken, and it could take a minute, it could take a few seconds. It just depends on how ready it is. And again, this isn't a science, at least for me, it's not. Some people who have been cooking for many years than I have, it may be a science to them. They may know exactly how long it'll take. For me, I just pretty much eyeball it. I guess that's just the way I learned how to cook a long time ago. But anyway, I will be back once it's ready. So I'm back just to show y'all kind of the bubbling you're looking for. Just those big old bubbles, and you can tell it's kind of thickening up, getting a little bit thicker. It's still runny, but that's okay because you're going to cook this still in the oven with the meatballs. So this is about the consistency I like to go ahead and put the meatballs in. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then come right back. Okay, y'all, the meatballs are in, and yes, it's still red, but that's okay because it's going in the oven to finish cooking. I'm going to put it in for about 30 minutes on 350, and then if they're not quite through, then I'll go ahead and put a little bit more, but I like to check it at about 30 minutes. That's usually a good time just to make sure everything's okay and not burning on the bottom, because you don't want your gravy to really burn on bottom. So I'm going to do that, and I will come back once it's out. Okay, y'all, I'm back, and I've got the meatballs out, and I heated up some veggies on the stove, and that's one of my homemade biscuits I did yesterday. So I think y'all need to see what the meatballs look like because they look delicious. Ooh, doesn't that look good? Should I do a taste test? I think y'all need to see just how good this actually is. So let me dip out some from my pan. I know, it's just cruel. It's just cruel, but this will make you want to go make your own, won't it? Here we go. So I've got some dished out. And no, I am not going to burn my tongue. I'm going to make sure I let it cool down just for a second because it just came out of the oven. Okay, so we got it here. Woo-wee. Look at that steam coming off. And see, there is no pink, so it did cook all the way through. Again, it was 30 minutes in the oven, so I knew it would be fine. So I still don't want to burn my tongue. This looks delicious, but I'm not going to burn my tongue for y'all. Oh, no. You have to try it. If you do, let me know how it goes, and y'all have a great week. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry this one was a little long. Didn't realize how many steps it would have, but I hope y'all have a wonderful day and a great week, and I will try and put another video up this coming weekend. Have a great one, and thank you. And hit that like button if you like this video, and hit that subscribe button if you love my content, and hit that notification bell so you know every time I put a new video up. Thank y'all.